Hey, what's going on, beautiful people? Thanks for joining me in this another weekly astrology energy forecast for the week of May 6th to the 13th of 2019. Man, can you believe it's already the second basically week in May? So this has been, man, there's so much going on. Like this energy has been so intense, crazy, transformative, enlightening, scary, all jumbled up into this one just big pile of what the fuck is going on, right? We don't really there's so many unknown aspects in life right now because really the trend right now is we have the personal planets and of course the moon and the sun, just recently went through Taurus where Uranus is. Now we have Mercury coming into Uranus, or coming into Taurus rather, tomorrow on the 6th. And, they're basically going to be conjunct Uranus for the rest of the week. Mercury's moving real fast. Okay, so Mercury is a mutable energy. It means it can be molded into whatever it wants to be molded into. Now, Taurus is a fixed Earth sign. Okay, fixed meaning that you have a strong belief system. All right, it's a fixed belief that you've done all the research that you can do. You know what the deal is, and it's fixed. It's solid. It's going to be incredibly difficult to break that idea of what the truth is for whatever topic we're discussing, right? And with Uranus there in Taurus, Uranus is like, all right, I'm gonna shake it up. Let's move it around. It's imbuing. I sort of see like Thor has like the lightning come down when he summons his hammer. That we're being that Uranus with that lightning and thunder. That's the Uranus energy right there. We're being infused with it. And, that infusion can be difficult. It can be exciting. It's definitely uncertain. You have no idea what direction it's going to take you, right? So we just had the sun, which is, like our personality. It's the main energy of our being. And that just went over there, a few weeks ago. So now we have Mercury creeping up. And so we got that like infusion of this new start, right? Uranus and Taurus is representing that new start, that new chapter of our lives that we're in. So with that new chapter, now we're getting puzzle pieces that are slowly being injected into our consciousness. And with the injection of these things, there are different aspects, parts of our archetypes that are being imbued into this. So with Mercury coming in here, Mercury is not necessarily good or bad. Now, I don't really like looking at any of these planetary energies as good or bad, because good or bad is a human identification pattern, right? Like we have to identify as something as good or bad if it's right or wrong for us. We need this structure to understand it. But instead of looking at good or bad, I like to look at it as effective or ineffective. Okay, because something can be inherently bad, but it might be good for our growth. Like it all depends on the perspective and where you're coming from and where you're going with it, right? So we have Mercury, which is even, right? Mercury takes in the information and disseminates it. Then we filter it through our ego, all our archetypes and our energies, and we interpret the things that we want to. Okay, now, depending on where we're at in our journey, is going to depend on how we're going to filter this information. All right. So this can be really, really beneficial if we focus on the positives, right? And especially right now, manifestation is so powerful, right? Whatever we're thinking about, we're manifesting. So if you're manifesting really bad shit in your life, you've got to change your mindset. And the only way to do that is to stop doing whatever it is that you're doing. Like I know so many people, I work with so many clients, they're stuck in their head and they don't know how to relax or calm themselves. Like our structure of our life that we've created is too busy. It's too fight or flight. It's too caffeinated, right? We need to really focus on slowing down and paying attention to our self-needs. Now, sometimes self-need is not exactly what we want to do at the moment, but we have to recognize, okay, like I'm about to burn myself out or I'm not really feeling it. So I need to just make a different choice going into this situation, So Mercury is going to make this communication really clear, right? So this is a really good thing because with the clear communication, we know what's right and we know what's wrong for us. And as long as we're listening to that in an effective manner, then we're good. The challenge is when we get information and we're like, nope, not going to believe it. No, fuck that. It's okay. No, I don't think so. And I'm feeling a lot of forgiveness. We're being confronted to see if our ability to forgive has really grown in the ways that we've been working on ourselves, right? This is the test. And the tests are coming to culmination. So the universe is basically saying to us, look, we're bringing you into this new life and we're going to give you what you want, but you need to be sure about what you want. And if you're not sure about it, you need to clear your mind, meditate, relax, sit back, get a massage, chill out, do some hape, something. You need to do something to chill. Because the relaxed place is where the clarity comes in. And we're getting the information like nobody's business. I mean, this is a prime time for manifestation. So things like vision boards, automatic writing, anything that really channels that creative energy into something that, who knows what it's going to be, but it's activating your creative capacity. And as we activate that, it creates a positive feedback loop, right? And especially also right now, now this is only going to pertain to people that are about anywhere between 37 to 45. Okay. But we are also have recently come in with Uranus going into Taurus. A lot of people from my generation in that time have Chiron in the early stages of Taurus. I know mine's at 5 degrees. So Uranus is almost right on top of my natal Chiron. Now, what does that mean? Well, Chiron is our deepest wound. Uranus is our capacity to evolve. It's that higher consciousness that's coming in. It's that disruptor of monotony. Now, this may be bringing up things from our childhood, right? Pains, insecurities, a lot of self-worth stuff. All right. So yours is at 0 degrees. So you really just went through all this, and now you're in more like the now it's time to integrate that energy, right? And it's really powerful. I'm really feeling this. Like, on one hand, there's like these senses of unconditional love and just forgiveness and gratitude and beauty, but then on the other hand, it's like, damn, I'm also terrified. Like, there's these feelings coming up in me that I don't understand. I don't understand them fully. And the idea is that we're not supposed to understand. We're just supposed to accept. So when they come up and it feels uncomfortable, they're like, no, I don't want to feel this. No, we have to be okay with feeling it. That's so, so important. We have to be okay with feeling it so that I can go through and process through our 5 senses and release. That's how we integrate our shadow. So the deepest aspects of our shadow, the things that the conditioning that we had laid into us when we were younger and that previous generation, and things that have been carried down from our ancestors are coming into play to be dissolved and cleared. Exactly. Acceptance of your feelings and taking ownership of your feelings. But it's so interesting how difficult it can be to accept that, right? Like, what if you meet someone and you like, oh my God, this is the love of my life. Like, we have such a connection, but you don't even know them. You may be like, my nuts? No, I just had 3 terrible relationships. I don't want any drama. I'm not going to get into this. I don't think so. I'm staying away from it. But then deep down in your heart, you're like, but this feels so good. What part of me is afraid to accept that? Or am I falling into old patterns again? Am I falling into attachments, right? Or am I actually inviting this in because I've done the work and I'm loving myself? So, you know, we invite the perfect partner. There's no such thing as perfect, of course, but the perfect imperfect partner when our vibration is centered, it's aligned. So getting to that point is critical in order to be able to invite this energy in. So we really have to stay centered and grounded and focused in our own energy and in our belief in our creativity and what we're doing, right? So when we focus on that energy, it's going to manifest so quick that even may be scary, right? So we're taking it one day at a time. We cannot think beyond one day. Thinking about the future is going to cause anxiety. Thinking about the past is going to cause depression. Man, we've all been through some shit, right? I know I have. We created this shit in our life to transform. That's our higher self. That's all these energies coming in to make things happen. So make sure you trust that feeling. This is Uranus is about trust too. It's about faith. It's about allowing these changes to happen. And that ego does not like change. Keep it in the moment. Well, I don't know if I'd say it like keep it in the moment. That almost sounds kind of sexual to me, which I think is pretty funny. But just be present. Just be. You don't even have to even put words to it, because I think words, the English, good point. Keeping in the moment is true that. I guess my language is somewhere else. So if any of you guys are going through the Uranus conjunct natal Chiron, I feel you. I'm feeling your energy, and I'm right there with you. All right, this is our opportunity. This is like the midlife crisis kind of energy, right? So we've been doing the work. We're good. Things are going to get much, much, much better very, very soon. If you know your natal chart, and if you look on there and you have check to see what degree Chiron is in, and check to see what degree Uranus is in right now. I believe Uranus is at 3 degrees. So once it gets past it, all right, when it's on top of it at the same degree in the same minute, that's the peak, right? So it's like leading up, like something's going to happen. Then it comes up, something happens, and then, okay, now we can integrate it. Now we can go ahead and process this energy and be okay with whatever the outcome is, all right? Also, I'm really feeling letting go of expectations. When this information comes in, if we attach it to an expectation, then that's going to create attachment. And we want to stay detached from everything outside of us, because right now things are changing so much, so fast, that it's probably going to be whisked right away, you know, before you can figure out what's going on. But the good thing is that these puzzle pieces, as they come together, they're solidifying our confidence. They're solidifying our trust in our faith. And over time, when this continues, that trust and faith just gets like solidified. All right, we're reanimating our aura right now. You know, we're going from a carbon-based structure to a crystalline structure, from the 3D to the 5D. And as we make these changes, we're opening ourselves up energetically, right, to the higher energies. And the more that we practice this, and the more that we're able to get in tune with it, the more we become in tune with it, the easier it gets. Now, I don't know if this ever really gets easy, but we do get stronger, right? Okay, well, so regarding the Chiron and Uranus, I was talking about transiting Uranus with natal Chiron. So the transiting Uranus right now is at 3 degrees of Taurus. So look at your natal Chiron and see where that is, and it's going to be much closer than all these different signs. Right, that lesson is coming up very, very strongly. So the ability to forgive, especially, you know, I found through my time and experiences going on that I just totally forgot what I was going to say. That's okay though. All right, on to the next thing. I think I beat that to death. Okay, so Jupiter is trine Venus and opposed Mars. So this is interesting because we have the whole divine feminine, divine masculine here in this interplay with Jupiter, which is essentially the higher octave of Venus, right? And it's internal. So that's gonna, I mean, Jupiter trine Venus is amazing. I mean, it's like the lower benefic and the higher benefic, you know, having sex and working together. So this is huge for relationships. And we need our self-confidence to go into the relationship that's gonna bring us the most happiness, right? What would you recommend to eat when you get in these moods? Well, I would say this. Whatever it is that you crave, don't eat that, but go ahead and eat something that it will still take the craving away. All right. I used to emotionally eat myself, and I know how that goes. Fasting is a great idea, but sometimes that can make things worse depending on where you're at. So you want to keep yourself satiated, but like say if you want to eat like my favorites, the indulgent trail mix at Walmart, right? That thing is, I can eat a whole bag like laying down watching a movie. It's crazy. So instead of eating that, go get some fruit. Still sugar, right? But it's a healthier version. It may not do the same thing, but it'll fill up your body the same way and send the biochemical signals so that it'll at least kill the emotional craving part. All right, because it's the emotional craving that we have to satisfy. We want to make sure that we're feeling emotionally even. Okay, try the trail mix from Costco. No, I am avoiding trail mix because that is my. No, that gets me in trouble. It messes with my stomach so bad. I love it so much. No bueno. Okay, so now, and we also have Jupiter opposing Mars. Now, this energy, to me, this is the test. Okay, and this energy is, you know, energy is fluid, of course, but it's lasting. It lasted from about a week ago to probably a good another week. All right, I give this like a 5 or 6 orb movement. So with Jupiter opposed Mars, this is belief systems. This is how we communicate with ourselves. So all this self-communication, this, you know, these are the voices in our head that are going on, having a conversation with each other. If you sit back and pay attention, man, like sometimes that shit gets crazy in there. Like even when we're trying to relax, it's corrosive sometimes. And Jupiter opposed Mars is strengthening our ability to resist that corrosion, right? It's almost like we're pushing our aura out and we're solidifying it. Say, okay, no, I'm not going to let this affect me. I'm not going to let it close me in. And as we push that out further, then the energy becomes stronger within us, right? So with that stronger energy, that's going to strengthen our belief systems. That's going to strengthen our ability to go with the flow and to trust our intuition, because all this communication back and forth, it interferes with the communication from your heart. And we want to be able to come from the heart every single time. Like that's where all the right answers are for us. But we have this habit of getting into analysis paralysis. So the Jupiter Mars is really, you know, Mars in Gemini is super cerebral. You know, Jupiter retrograde, it's, you know, that's where we're going in our mind. It's the expansion of our consciousness. So our consciousness is expanding, and this is a test to sort of carry us into that next level, that our next chapter, right? So it's all fitting in together with these thoughts and these feelings of, you know, self-worship, self-worth issues, of self-confidence, of how we make money, of, you know, the things that really emotionally fulfill us in our life. What do we do with that? That's what we're getting clarity on through this process. All right. So we also have Saturn trine the Sun, which is amazing. We need this energy. We really need this energy. I mean, right now, Saturn in Capricorn, it's in its home sign. It's super, super powerful, and it just went retrograde. So it's still, you know, speeding up again in the retrograde motion. And so that energy is just so powerful, especially with the South Node right there in Pluto. You guys, every astrologer out there is talking about the Saturn Pluto conjunction with the South Node. So with it trine the Sun, you know, especially and Taurus, that's our self-worth. That's our belief in our structure and our ability to move forward into this place, right? It's so this is all reinforcing our belief and reinforcing like whatever's not right is getting crazy illuminated, like big neon lights, like you cannot miss it. Okay, so pay attention to it. And I know all you guys that are watching this are because you're watching this. And this is all about paying attention to it. Hell yeah. All right, so Neptune is sextile the Sun too, and square Jupiter. So that Neptune-Jupiter square is going to be going on for most of the year. And again, that's, you know, from the 9th house to the 12th house. That is all these karmic patterns, all these things that we have been holding ourselves back with for so long at so many levels is just getting purged and brought into awareness. But it has to go through all these different, think of it as like every planet is a filter, right? And the more that we become aware, the more we expand our consciousness, the more that we understand all the energies of each of these archetypes and these planets. So the energy, when say, you know, a thought form comes in, it comes in up through the chakras, you know, goes from the 7th chakra down to the 1st chakra. It also, you know, coming into that phase is all the different energies that we have going on in all these different houses. And each filter, it can distort it or it can clarify it, right? Depending on how much stuff we work through. So you like to share it? Yeah. Representing. Chakras, baby. Electro threads, they're pretty awesome. I love their stuff. This is really pointing out, okay, in this area, in your structure, in your career, this is what's wrong. It's here in your thought process with relationships, this is wrong. Here with your children, this is wrong. Here with your, and this is how it's all affecting your self-esteem and your self-confidence. And this is what you need to communicate to be able to do that. It's all going all over the place. And that's that's exactly how I see astrology working within us. Right? It's just, I don't know if any guys have heard of Caroline Myss, but if you haven't, look her up. She's amazing. And she developed an archetype system mixed with astrology that is absolutely amazing. And she's actually one that created the survival archetype concept, which I made videos about those. You can go there and check it out. The wounded child, the saboteur, the prostitute, and the victim. Right? We all have them. And it's those archetypes that are being thrown in our face right now. And with it being thrown in our face, are we going to like cower away and bow down to it? Or are we actually going to look at it, feel it, face it, forgive it, flow with it? You know, all the F words. Fuck it. Because, yeah, there you go. Message from the multiverse. Good job. Preparing for ceremony, huh? Yeah. Why do we emotionally crave? We emotionally crave because we have attachments. We may have attachment to wanting to be a certain way. We may have attachment to owning a certain car or looking a certain way, feeling a certain way. But ultimately, that's all craving is. And when we don't have solid emotional boundaries, we invite these cravings in to teach us, but it doesn't really feel like that going through it, right? Just like addictions, you become addicted to something because you don't feel good enough to be able to have it, right? So that's especially, man, there's so many people I know overcoming addictions. So many people are like finally starting to seek out like natural medicines, like combo, like ayahuasca, like hape, like all these indigenous things that have been around for thousands of years. They're now getting more notoriety because people are just turning their lives around left and right. It's a beautiful thing. Pharmaceutical companies don't like that because people, you know, you don't make money off of healthy people, right? But I don't know. I think we deserve to be healthy. It's bullshit. Everybody's sick. Where's the video at? What video? Yeah, we are all so the Christ consciousness is being as being like the lightning imbued into our being, right? That is us. That is us moving up in consciousness into the 5D. So as this unconditional love comes up, it has to go through sort of like a Kundalini. If you think of Kundalini energy, all right, how it travels through the body and it goes through the chakras. When it goes through the chakras, it opens them up. When they open up, if there are any blockages, which at the very foundation, they come from emotions, right? So if we have any emotions that we've stuffed down and we have not addressed it or felt it or figured it out, it's a lesson that we still need to learn. So that unconditional love, that higher vibration is going through us right now, similar to like Kundalini. Okay, and as it goes through each chakra, as it goes through each area, is blasting open. Up, you didn't deal with this, you didn't deal with this, you didn't deal with that. You got to face this. It's like, holy crap. Okay. Oh, the archetype videos can be found here on my YouTube channel. Just go down. Just look for saboteur, the victim, the wounded child, and the prostitute. Our society today is heavily based in a victim mentality. I mean, the media, the politics, all the bullshit, it all is marketed towards bringing the victim out of everyone. And that's why this whole fucking world is in chaos. Because this higher energy is coming through and trying to rid us of this victim mentality. But then again, we have another side, that dark forces, what I like to call it, that are feeding the minds of our world all this bullshit, all this fear-based crap. And it confuses people. It's incredibly confusing to navigate through this process because everybody wants to be happy. Everybody wants love, right? Everybody wants joy. But how many people actually really have it all the time? Because we haven't dealt with our own shit, right? Yeah, I don't watch the news or watch TV either because there's so many nasty subliminal messages everywhere. It's scary. It's scary how good they're at doing that. So I stay away from that low vibration stuff too. Media makes you feeble-minded, 100%. It's ridiculous. You get caught up into these ridiculous, dramatic issues. Like, who gives a fuck? I have enough stuff going on in my life. I don't need to fill my mind with entertainment of another dramatic source. I want to be entertained in something beautiful and something fun and something magical. I want to smile and laugh, and that shit just makes you lazy and want to eat fried chicken in front of on the couch in front of the TV and doing nothing. No bueno. So don't be falling into that shit. But right now, I don't really think that we can, because there's like a fire lit under our ass, right? There is a fire lit under our ass with the Pluto South Node Saturn conjunction, especially now it's all full bore in retrograde mode. That's going to be bringing up all this stuff that we haven't dealt with yet, or that we haven't faced. And so, this week we're going to be getting more clear on the tests. We're going to be understanding them at a deeper level. And by understanding them at a deeper levels, then we're going to be able to figure out what to do about them one step at a time. But, it's easy because things are getting thrown at us so hard. It's hard to stay centered. It's hard to stay like in the present moment. Like, okay, I need a plan 2, 3, 4 weeks out in advance. So, but there's so many unknown factors. How do I do it? The structure is difficult. So, of course, there's going to be times where you have to prepare. The structure and preparation is important, but also we need flexibility. All the F words. I'm so feeling all the F words. Flexibility, foundation, fixed, fun, and really fuck it. Okay, so also, are you sensing your soul is fighting to regain its purpose back on track? 100%. That's exactly how I feel right now. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like the fragmented pieces of my soul have been coming in one at a time, and each time I can feel it integrate, and I feel like, You know how you just always like, I know I want to feel something and I'll know it when I feel it. We're starting to feel that feeling, but it's like, it's not quite the way we expected. It's like a little bit at a time, one little piece, but it's enough to give us hope. And it's enough to help us want to follow through and find that next piece. So we just have to constantly be coming back into our awareness. Flexibility, foundation, fun, and the fuckets. I got a case of the fuckets, 100%. I love it. That was good shit. So fuck it. Have fun with it. You know, like let that love shine through in a creative way. Whatever it is that you love to do, go out and explore. Do it. Have fun with it. Be it. Be about it. And that's how we're gonna, like, we don't know what this next chapter is really gonna look like. Probably won't know until like early mid next year. That's when things are really gonna start to crystallize, and the formula is gonna start to really come together. But for now, still working through, you know, a lot of those old issues. And I love the case of the fuckets. That's awesome. Hey, you know what? Fuck it. Chuck it in the fuck it bucket. Boom. So we also have Chiron semi-sextile Uranus. So this goes, you know, with the transiting, you know, the transits right now, you know, Chiron is in Aries. So, but this also has to do with the Chiron that I was talking about before in our natal charts for the people that have that in there, because that's a double dose of Chiron activity working with Uranus. Uranus and Chiron are like, they're talking, bro. Like they're sitting down and they're, you know, they're having a real serious conversation. Like, all right, what the fuck are you doing? That's what the universe is asking right now. What the fuck are you doing, and what are you gonna do to get out? Because you have to take action now. You have to fucking jump, because you can't stay here. There's nothing for you here anymore. You're done. So, and that Chiron moon, that's the deepest of deep wounds in our consciousness. It's the edge of our auric field, you know, scraping the edge of the auric field of the stuff that has just been there for lifetimes, that is being purified. We are going through a purification and initiation process, my friends. So be humble and fuck it. The humility is going to come, because this feeling underneath is so uncomfortable, but we're learning to be okay with that discomfort, right? Like, you know, just take one more step. I'm going to put my pinky in over here. I'm going to put my heel foot in over here. Just one little step at a time. Just go with the flow and allow, you know, whatever wants to fall away, let it fall away. Whatever wants to come on in. Does it feel right? Yeah, cool. Let's do this, right? But, you know, no more self-sacrifice. No more lowering our standards. No more bullshit. No more. We are being called, my friends, the light warriors of the world right now. We are being called to step into our power. And this week, we're going to get a lot of communication about that stepping into our power. And as that communication comes in, it's going to bring up more puzzle pieces that hurt to be connected, to integrated, to dissolve, to bring more, and rinse and repeat over and over and over again. Okay? I'm happy that you resonate with it. Message from the multiverse. So we also, of course, because Saturn is trine the sun, we also have Pluto trine the sun and the South Node. Technically, they're all in the same area. And this is, again, Pluto is a planet of death, of transformation, of the phoenix rising from the ashes. And, you know, it got up to 23 degrees, which is an incredibly important degree, and just incredibly transformative, especially here in the United States. Okay, because I believe that Pluto is at 23 degrees of Capricorn in the United States birth chart, basically. So this is just, you like that mug? So this is just bringing everything into a culmination point. We're here to change this country, to evolve, to grow. We are embodying this unconditional, loving Christ consciousness to teach other people, hey, you don't have to live like this anymore. But in order to be able to give other people that advice, we have to be living it ourselves. Okay, so I implore you to stay strong in your conviction for your desires and your creativity and what you want to create. Oh, what up, Rachel? How you doing? Good to see you too. Yes. So the sun is also sextile the north and south node. Man, absolutely beautiful. Everything is being illuminated. Everything's lighting up. Now, with Venus, though, also square the nodes, that is going to be where, okay, like in relationship to love, you loving yourself. You know, Venus is not very strong in Aries. Okay, so that could bring up some questions, like with relationships and the direction that we want to go with relationships. Like, who's in my life that is a benefit? We're a mutual benefit. We're helping each other grow. And who or what is in my life that is holding me back? All right, we have to filter that through our archetypes, and we have to let go and get rid of the old stuff that doesn't matter, learn the lesson, and go towards new stuff. But this next few weeks coming up actually is so huge for deeply connecting in relationships. The relationships that we bring in right now are going to last. They're going to build us up. They're going to help us create our North Node, what we want, right? Especially intimate relationships. So step into your power, acknowledge your confidence, acknowledge who you are. You're a fucking beautiful being, right? So acknowledge that and accept it. I mean, it's so interesting how difficult it is to accept sometimes. Just be you and be proud of being you. It's such a, you know, when you have someone that loves themselves and they walk into a room or whoever they meet, it's such a beautiful thing. Like they raise the vibration. They bring everything, you know, they make people's day better. I know when I'm out and about, I make it a point to smile at everybody that I walk by. Why? I'm not trying to be a creep, because some people get really weirded out by that. You ever notice that? You walk by someone, you make eye contact, and then immediately like, bro, look down. Or especially like if you're a single person, you're walking by a couple, like one will look, the other won't. Be all this weird stuff going on. It's ridiculous. I just sort of laugh at that kind of stuff because that's just like, if you can't be comfortable with communicating with just your fellow human beings, then that's an unfortunate, you know, existence that you're living. You know, you really need to figure out what your priorities are. Like, and that's a clear identification that you're allowing your fear to control you. And fear is not meant to you irritate people because it's just so happy in public. That's interesting. But hey, keep shining that light, baby. Keep shining that light, because that's what we all are here to do. So May 9th on Thursday is really, there are two significant energies that I see of this month. The first is, of course, Mercury going into Taurus, and that's going to be on top of Uranus. That's going to bring all the unexpected communication, epiphanies, insights, like, holy shit, what the fuck's going on? Okay, let's take another step into this next dimension, into this next chapter. Right. Then on May 9th, we have the moon conjunct the North Node, opposing Saturn, Pluto, and the South Node. And emotionally, you know, like, that's coming up to the North Node in Cancer. That's going to really illuminate. So we're going to get infused with a bunch of communication here on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to Thursday, that communication is going to really come into our emotional body, and really, we're really going to, I think it's going to be a really good thing. I think it's going to really imbue us with another sort of pulse. I sort of see it like a sonar, like a pulse of energy, of confidence, of gratitude, right? A lot of gratitude and forgiveness, like that. Gratitude and forgiveness, and the chuck it and the fuck it bucket. Those three things, I'm telling you, that's all it's about this week. Okay, now Jupiter is also sesquiquadrate Mercury. Now, sesquiquadrate is an aspect of past life stuff, right? So we have a lot of past life and lineage stuff going on right now, but this aspect in particular, it's great because you know, Mercury will have just gone over Uranus, and then it's going to sesquiquadrate Jupiter, and Jupiter is in the house of our belief systems, right? So what, maybe learn lessons from past lives. All right, maybe you didn't, maybe you're gonna have some kind of, you know, clarity or intuitive impulse to take a step, to talk to this person, to take this action, to do this thing, and this one decision changes the course of your life. It's entirely possible. Damn, girl. Got Maru, the peace dealer. Hell yeah. I do got to give a shout out to my boy, the Peace Dealer. Dude's killing it. 30,000 subscribers on his YouTube, man. Good job. Congratulations. Super Homie Squad, represent. And Maru, I love you. Sun Soul Astrology, you are the best. You have taught me this whole quantum astrology thing. It just goes so much deeper than regular astrology. And I can't thank you enough for always being there for me. I love you, hon. Yes. So we need to establish practices daily right now. It's so important to take a step back and to align ourselves emotionally and energetically every day, okay? Because this energy coming in, it is intense and it is fast moving. It's very, very fast. And you know, if you try to figure it all out and stay with it, you can get lost in it. It's not easy. And not only that, like, you can get stuck and attached to trying to figure things out. So letting things go and letting things be okay and having faith and having trust is critical to be able to accomplishing what we want to accomplish here in this week. And as we go through that, establishing new patterns too, especially with the new moon that just happened today or yesterday in Taurus. Okay, that is just new beginnings of self-worth, of self-confidence, setting a foundation of this new life, of what we want, so getting the structure down, okay, getting the confidence, getting the discipline from the confidence to be able to push forward. All right, but pushing forward in a loving way, not forcing it, not charging through it, but stepping into it with ease, with flow. Think of it, in your magic carpet ride. Going forward, clear, with everything that comes at you. Okay, I'm looking at it. I see it. This is how I'm breaking it down in my mind. This is what I'm going to do with it. Okay, you make that decision, you go. But you went through the process mentally, emotionally, that every stage, you made the right decision. You're listening to your gut. You are staying centered. If you feel some kind of emotional trigger come up, you sit with that emotional trigger and you do not move forward until you allow that to take its course. And you will find when you do that, that is what will let it process faster and faster. Okay, so you sit back, focus on you, do your thing, and then you go to the next step. And when the next step, more energy, another decision to make, process it, and you do that one at a time. It's all about these little details of our awareness. You do them 444, you do it one at a time, and before you know it, it becomes autonomic. When you're starting, like, say, a new workout routine or trying to change a behavior or a pattern, they say in neuro-linguistic programming, it takes 21 days to establish a new habit or pattern. That is the amount of time that it takes for the neural impulses to get strong enough to where it becomes autonomic. That is where the biochemistry alters enough to where now the biochemistry, that is its default. We have to train and program our mind and our body to establish these structures so that we have the strength and the confidence to function at our highest level and to go forward to do our mission here in this world, which is change the world, teach people love. So as this intense energy comes in, exactly, feel it, process it, let it go, take it one step at a time. And you'll find, and having faith is, you find that a few weeks later, a few months later, it's like, oh, okay, things are almost like bubbles popping. Things are starting to fall into place. Things are starting to happen. Things are starting to make sense. They're not going to make sense at first. Uranus does not make any fucking sense. Sometimes you don't learn for years what the hell it's trying to teach you. But it's, the key is of having faith and understanding that and being okay with not having clarity about it. Okay, because we don't need clarity when we have faith. That's the point in faith, to believe in something that we feel and that we can't see, we don't even really know exists. Well, I know it exists because I've done the work for so long, but some people, you know, it's easy to question it when you have all this fear-based shit that's being thrown at you. We have to get rid of it. We have to get away from it. Okay? So this is going to give us an opportunity to have a glimpse into our future. All right. This, with Mercury coming into Taurus, we even could get, you know, our third eyes may open up. We could get like crazy dreams, more visuals, right? So I encourage you to pay attention to all that stuff. And it's going to start to see, okay, we're setting the foundation. We're getting all the pieces on the drawing board set up to where we're going to move here in the next year or so. All right. We still have a few more months that we have to go over old stuff, that we have to clear old energies, that we have to, you know, figure out some patterns. But as long as we trust the process and we do these things and focus on these details, we can't go wrong. All right. We can't fuck this up, because the entire point is identifying, you know, the things within us that we feel fucked up about and accepting and acknowledging that and just, you know, not doing it. And that's the bottom line. Broham. Thank you very much too, Master from the Multiverse. I really appreciate your support. And thank you for everybody else tuning in and watching this. Really grateful for all you guys' support as I'm still getting this this YouTube channel going. But you know, I'm planning a lot more videos, and I really want to bring this to the next level. So, you know, I'm doing the work just like you guys. All right, we're all doing the work together. So let's make it happen. All right. And on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. And I wish you guys love, light, and whatever doesn't work for you, chuck it in the fucking bucket. And if you like this, please like, share, and subscribe. And you can also go to my website, trinityfitnessastrology.com. It's in the link below for coaching services and astrology readings. All right, guys, have a great week.